to the Nuclear Reactor channel. Today we'll be reacting to What If Raditz Turned Good Part 1 by Massa Cox. So, I can't even ever see him being good, but he's Goku's brother, so stranger things can happen. Let's get started.
What if this first fight in Z ended rather differently? Hey guys, Masako X here, and welcome back to another What If Week! We are back with some interesting scenarios to get your grey matter going. Last month we talked about the possibilities that befell Bulma if she never met Goku, what if Piccolo fused early with Kami, and
I most definitely have to watch these. This sounds good. Sounds awesome.
Earlier than he was supposed to.
Never seen his
Pretty
videos
outlandish
before
stuff,
today.
don't you think? So let's continue that trend with quite possibly one of the most requested
And sorry,
I
I'm
have
just a little
received
tired.
thus
It's
far.
2:38 in the morning.
What if Raditz turned good? Goku's brother from the depths of space. Our ticket to the stars. One that only stuck around for about 5 episodes before being killed by a special beam cannon by Piccolo taking Goku with him. But that's besides the point.
Exactly. I wanted to get more from
Raditz.
Raditz. I think he was well underplayed.
Changed in a way that resulted in
I would
a
have liked to have
long-lost
seen
relative
more.
of cousin-it from the Addams family surviving. Since Raditz does not make his mark until the end
And
of the
it would be
Dragon
cool
Ball
if they made a
arc and the
small
beginning of the Z
spin-off with
arc,
this
or
as
about
the
chapter
starting of it,
195 of the original manga,
with Raditz
the events of the
being
original
turned
Dragon
good.
Ball series are pretty much the same as they were, with Goku and Piccolo remaining bitter rivals and Gohan being born. Raditz arrives on Earth and is shocked, disappointed, and annoyed to not only see the Earth pristine, but thriving. Clearly, his little brother needs a good talking to. Or he's dead. Whatever the reason, he has to do something about it. After coming across Piccolo and teasing him about his weaker power level, which is something that Raditz does a lot, he senses a slightly greater power level and goes off to investigate. At this time, he doesn't know it's his little brother because Saiyans at the time relied solely on their scouters. Instead
Which
of
is
having the
stupid.
ability to
They
sense
should have
powers
trained that.
naturally, he finds Goku at Kame House, and the events of the manga and the anime play out as you would expect. Him informing his younger brother about his Saiyan origins, as well as the fate of their race. After Goku refuses to join his brother in arms, Raditz kidnaps his nephew and flees the scene. This is the point where Goku and Piccolo reluctantly join sides, despite being bitter enemies for the longest time. They have to fight Raditz in order to save
When
the
I first saw that,
Earth.
that surprised the hell out of
I know,
me.
this is the story
But I
that
guess
you're very
the enemy
familiar
of
with,
my
and I'm
enemy
really
is
not
my
deviating.
friend.
Well, don't worry. This is where I
Or,
start to do so.
no, wait, the
We're
reverse.
about to
Okay,
dive
sorry,
from this
reverse that.
well-trodden path. Well-trodden path. We have now reached the point
think.
where Piccolo is about to fire the special beam cannon. Now let's just say, like in Xenoverse 1's alternate telling, that Raditz just about manages to muster enough strength to free himself of Goku's grasp. He has just enough time to dodge the special beam cannon, whilst that hits Goku dead on. Oops, Piccolo just done killed the main character. Now Raditz has escaped being turned into Saiyan Swiss cheese, but he is still winded and injured from his spat with Gohan. You know, that moment where Gohan just launches himself at Raditz and kind of
He's a weak coward
body
anyway.
slams him in the stomach.
But
Now let's say
it'd be
in this
interesting to see
instance,
more from
that
him.
impact left more
And
of an
it was
injury than it
amazing
did in
the
the
first time
anime.
seeing
At this point,
Gohan's
Piccolo
power.
had been rather
Don't hurt
conflicted about
my
the whole
daddy!
incident. Yeah, he kind of let the enemy escape, but at the same time, he managed to best his rival, Goku. At this point, he'd be doing a lot of processing and not really paying attention to Raditz. Now, Raditz would have used this time to fire an energy blast in Piccolo's direction, giving him a quick getaway whilst being able to recover from
Coward.
his injuries in solitude. Wait, what? Raditz, run away? That's not like him, Masako. Ah, well, I think it is entirely like him. Now, you see, Raditz
I agree
may
with
be
that.
more like the archetypal Saiyan than Goku is, but he is still slightly different from the stereotype. He's a trickster and a manipulator, but he does have a level of empathy which kind of elevates him from the typical
Really?
Saiyan. Now that I think about it, all of Raditz's relatives are somewhat different from normal Saiyans. You know,
Bardock.
Bardock, Kakarot, Raditz. They're all much more empathic. If he was truly a cold-blooded killer, he would have killed Goku on the spot for failing to do his job.
That's true.
Of destroying
Any other
the planet,
Saiyan would have.
terraforming it, and preparing it for Lord Frieza. Nope. He gave his brother many chances to change his mind and join him, although granted some of those instances were traps. Also,
That's
more
true.
importantly, Raditz is a bit of a coward. He feels
Exactly,
very
see?
greatly and is shocked to see that Goku would even contemplate sacrificing himself. That's not something a typical Saiyan would say. A normal Saiyan, if they were in a similar situation to what Raditz and Goku were in, would have commended Goku for his wise and cunning strategy.
Would they?
would have been impressed by
Oh,
Goku's
yeah,
actions. Not Raditz, he was horrified. If you saw Raditz as your first true example of the Saiyan race, you wouldn't really think much of them. This also might explain why Raditz is so weak in comparison to Vegeta and Nappa. His less valiant persona probably gave him fewer opportunities to get a Zenkai boost. You know, getting to the brink of death and then healing up. He probably did that far
Explains
less
a lot,
by
actually.
not being there because he was...
Apparently,
So
wasn't
once
he a
Raditz
third glass
escapes, the
Saiyan
main
or
gang
something?
arrives. Like in the anime, Piccolo makes the decision to take Gohan and train him, just in case that Raditz guy came back to try and finish the job. So Piccolo's doing
Because
the
I know
same thing that he
Nappa
did in
called
the anime,
Goku a
but for
third
slightly
class
different
Saiyan.
reasons. He's not aware of the incoming Saiyans, Vegeta and Nappa. As far as he's concerned, it's just Raditz. With a little bit of training and some assistance from Goku's brat, they could take him on, no problem, that's fine. They could take out that long-haired maniac. Speaking of Vegeta and Nappa, they have heard everything that's been going on Earth. Remember, those scouters were open the entire time. Once
They
Raditz
were?
was
I thought it was
able to
only when
recover enough
Raditz
so he
was
could
dying.
converse with the Saiyans, which is about
Let me
a
know.
day or two. He reports back about what happened in great detail. Vegeta would have mocked Raditz for being so weak and allowing these pesky Earthlings to get the better of him. Also, he would have made fun of Raditz for having such a weak brother who couldn't do his job properly, and therefore branded him and Kakarot a complete and utter waste of space. As far as the Principal Saiyans was concerned, Raditz's incompetence on Earth was the last straw, and he would tell Raditz not to return to Vegeta and Nappa's company. But before Vegeta can say this, though, Nappa jumps in and says that Piccolo guy sounded kinda fun, and that he wants to try and fight him. He wants to check out that Earth and pay that green guy a visit. Well, they've got nothing better to do, so with his interest piqued, Vegeta agrees to go to Earth and fight Piccolo, using the coordinates that Raditz provided through his scouter transmissions. Raditz pleads with Vegeta to let him help the two, but Vegeta is having none of it. He gives Raditz an ultimatum: either stay out of their way when they arrive on Earth, or die. Vegeta
He would kill him
cuts cords
anyway.
with
It's
Raditz,
Vegeta when he
leaving
was in
the
his
Saiyan
evil
completely
self.
isolated
He
and
would have killed
alone. He
him.
now has nothing.
Either way,
His
so...
planet gone, his friends gone,
Even if he
and
stays
even
out of the
his
way,
brother is
after
gone.
Vegeta's
What does
done
he
with
do
everyone
now?
else, he's just gonna kill him.
He's a disgrace to the entire Saiyan race. But he can't just sit back and take what Vegeta and Nappa has said, even if he is the Prince of all Saiyans.
Exactly, he's the
gonna
brother
do
of
what's best for
Goku.
his race and come up strong. Rise to the occasion. After a few weeks to further recover from his wounds, he decides to pay Piccolo a visit and try and find him somewhere in the mountains.
Good luck with
he uses
that.
his scouter to try and search for Piccolo's power level. He notices that the power level has increased slightly, and that there is another power level there with him. But due to the fact that I think that the scouter's battery is starting to weaken, he can't get a precise location point to.
Makes sense.
Just
The
a
ship
general
exploded, so
direction,
probably
like,
any
say,
charging
they're
system or
about
anything he had would have
so
been in
many
the ship.
miles northwest or something. He flies off in that direction to search for Piccolo and Gohan. Because Raditz cannot manipulate his energy and try and suppress it so that gives him cover, Piccolo can easily sense Raditz approaching, and therefore change his location quite easily. For the next few weeks, it's a subdued game of cat and mouse. One night, though, things change. Gohan looks at the full moon, and so does Raditz.
Uzaru versus
This results in
Uzaru!
both of them changing into
Yes!
great apes.
I
Not
would
that
do
far
anything
from
to
each
see
other.
that. I want to
And
see
you
that
know
very
what that
badly.
means? Big Great Ape fight! The two Saiyan apes duking it out, with Raditz being the stronger, and being
Obviously.
far more in control of his actions than Gohan is. During this battle, he can sense that Gohan is actually quite powerful for his age. Piccolo is watching this with utter horror, and destroys the moon before Gohan could potentially be seriously hurt, or indeed killed. The two revert to their humanoid forms, with Gohan left completely out cold.
Still don't
and
understand
Raditz
how they
chuckling.
can keep
Putting
destroying
on
the
some
moon like
kind
that.
of bravado,
Realistically
Piccolo is
speaking,
about
I
to
mean,
launch a barrage of ki
it
attacks
would
at Raditz,
destroy
but Raditz
so
stops him,
much
saying that
because
shit
of
bother is
the
completely
lack of
pointless.
currents and
He then
tides and
uses
stuff.
this moment to inform
Just a
Piccolo
thought.
about Vegeta and Nappa's impending arrival. The fact that these two Saiyans are far stronger than he, so Piccolo shouldn't do anything rash. Raditz could help them. Raditz then puts on an act, saying he's so remorseful for his brother's
Bullshit.
death, and has come to respect his younger brother now that he has passed away, and that out of respect, he wants to help them and change sides, out of pure goodwill. Piccolo doesn't trust
It
him
would take
one
something
bit,
really big
but at
for
the same
Raditz to
time,
truly change
two
sides.
immensely strong Saiyans is much more of a concern than one mediocre Saiyan. If you're having to deal with 3 Saiyan warriors, it's better to have one of them on your side, right? Better the devil you know and all that. Whilst this has been going on, Goku has proceeded to King Kai's place via Snake Way like he did in the anime and the manga. The difference is that Goku is not aware of Vegeta and Nappa's impending arrival on Earth. But King Kai is, though. He is the Kai of North Galaxy, after all, and would notice 2 particularly powerful Saiyans heading in the direction
Goku
of
trained
Earth,
with them
and
for
that
like
spelling
more than half a
not
year or
exactly
something,
good
so why didn't
news. Would impress
he
upon
train
to
Goku
train
harder than he
harder than he
did?
ever has before in
Exactly.
his life. Much more than he did on the planet in the anime. So everything will kind of
Why
catch
was
up.
that?
As the 2 Saiyans head for Earth, Raditz, Gohan, and Piccolo are training with each other. Both Piccolo and Gohan are extremely untrusting of Raditz, but they believe that just to play along with this guy is a lot better than ending up dead. Hey, I guess they're just being grateful for that, I suppose. Then one night, Raditz asks about his brother and what he was like. Gohan says fondly that his daddy is the greatest and strongest fighter on Earth, beating every single guy in his path, even Mr. Piccolo. Piccolo annoyingly confirms this, and says that not only is Goku a great fighter, but a very honorable warrior at the same time. This is a big deal for Piccolo, because this is not something he would easily say. Raditz
Exactly.
is actually
Back
kind of
then,
impressed,
that would be
and this
surprising
is
to
where
hear.
his bravado begins to falter. He recalls his own childhood and how lonely it was. If you're familiar with the events of Toyball's Dragon Ball Zero fan
Tell me, is that any
you'll know
good,
where I'm
the
going with
DBZ
this.
Zero
If
series?
not,
I
shall
really have been
summarise
thinking
it by
about
the
reading
fact
it.
that Raditz did not have a good childhood. It's kind of obvious if you think about it. Bardock and Gine, his parents are dead. Kakarot's somewhere out in space. Raditz is left alone, just at the hands of Lord Frieza. Vegeta and Nappa, they're not friends. They're picking on him for being so weak and having a useless father that doomed everyone. Raditz was treated
Tell me,
with contempt.
how did
What
Bardock
do you
doom
expect?
everyone?
By showing this vulnerability, finally,
I don't
Piccolo
understand
and Gohan
that.
can sense that Raditz is not all that
What does he
bad.
mean by
On
that?
the inside, he is a scared and lonely soul. Raditz even goes so far as to apologizing for Goku's demise, but quickly regains his bravado and macho vibe. This is where Piccolo decides to share with Raditz that they plan to wish Goku back with the Dragon Balls. Inspired
Big
by
mistake.
this news, Raditz is completely revitalized.
Raditz should have turned
and
off his
Gohan and Piccolo
scouter.
continue to train with him with much more vigor, bringing Tenshinhan, Yamcha, Krillin, and Chaozu into the mix as well. By the time the Saiyans arrive, Raditz is a lot stronger. Strong enough to even hold his own against Nappa somewhat. The Z-Warriors meet up with Vegeta and Nappa as they do in the anime. Vegeta mocks Raditz and tells him that he signed his own death warrant
Kick
for
his ass,
showing up.
Raditz.
He has come to accept that he is weaker than Vegeta, but he doesn't care. He is going to fight for the Saiyan race and make Vegeta rue the day that he banished him from his side. Raditz is a true Saiyan. We then jump to the place in the story where Nappa is about to use his break cannon against Gohan. Sure enough, Piccolo does jump in front of Gohan, but then Raditz jumps in front of Piccolo. Raditz is stronger than Piccolo during this arc.
So then
instead
they'd
of being
have the
completely
Dragon Ball
and
still, so
mortally
technically
wounded,
they don't have to
he's
get a
able
Namek at this
take it
point.
and just about stand up, looking completely badass in the process. He would stand up, snigger,
Sounds like
and
it.
laugh at Nappa for his feeble attack. Is that the best you can do, Nappa? We then get a short but well-choreographed fight between Raditz and Nappa, which gives Piccolo enough time to get Gohan out of the way. Goku then arrives to witness Raditz fighting Nappa, and is rather confused about the situation. Are they supposed to be on the same side?
Doesn't
Vegeta
take a
was
lot to
slightly
confuse
amused at
Goku.
this fight, but now
Nope.
he's completely bored of it. He shoots a bang beam at Raditz's heart, stopping him dead in
bye,
his
Raditz.
tracks. Literally. Raditz is fatally injured, and he falls down to the ground.
That didn't
Goku
last
uses
long.
this time to head over to Piccolo and Gohan to check whether they're okay. They then tell Goku about Raditz, how he's changed, and how he's now on their side. Goku's still kind of confused though, so he walks over to Raditz to try and get some more answers out of him, with Nappa laughing on from the sidelines, saying about how they look too cute together, the siblings. Raditz looks up at Goku and is glad to see him again. He apologizes for his behavior the last time they met. Raditz tells Goku that he knows all about his little brother's fight, and how proud he is of him because he's gotten so strong.
Aww.
He can sense the potential in Goku to make
Exactly.
the Saiyan race proud, much more so than Vegeta and Nappa, and how he can take those two bastards out. If only our father could see us now, he'd say, taking on a prince and beating him. Who'd have thought? Goku thanks Raditz for his help in keeping Gohan safe, as well as
He
even
kinda sounds
forgiving
like
Raditz
Raditz
for his
when he does
original
that.
transgression in kidnapping Gohan in the first place. Raditz chuckles and slips away from consciousness. Goku is left saddened and angered, and proceeds to body slam Nappa as he does in the anime. And thusly, the events of the Saiyan saga continue to play out as per normal. Only this time, Piccolo is around to watch the action unfold. So there we go. If Raditz turned good, he would have saved Piccolo's life, as well as adding some extra narrative nuance to proceedings in the Saiyan saga. Raditz had come to the conclusion that if he were to be just left alone, just fending for himself on planet Earth, Vegeta would have eventually found him and killed him on the spot. Owing to the fact that Raditz is scared of death, it would be a better idea to side with other people who are vaguely strong, just to give him a better chance at surviving. You know, safety in numbers.
Exactly.
Now this doesn't mean he's become a flat-out good guy. That would be completely nonsensical for any Saiyan in this point in the story. My definition of good at this point is someone who isn't Vegeta. No, this is more likely a mutual alliance between Raditz, Gohan, Piccolo, and the Z-Warriors,
except in Super for some reason.
long-term survival. It's a marriage of
I don't really agree with
so
that.
to speak. Not
I
only
agree with
that,
him wanting
but
to
it would have made
protect
a
his
rather
family,
touching
but
subplot
him
for
teaching
Goku
Trunks how to
and Raditz to
change
reconnect as brothers,
the diapers
albeit
and all that.
briefly.
No.
I think that would have made for a really touching story. So what do you
I
guys
miss
think?
Z
Do you like my
Vegeta.
interpretation of Raditz? Do you think it fits well with the character in general? Leave a comment below, check out the poll on the top right, and let's get this discussion going. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next one, be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you later.
That was cool. I mean, it was decent. I like that. I really think that with their ability to feel more empathic towards people, Goku's family, that's the reason why they have an easier time of becoming Super Saiyans. Relatively speaking, easier time at least. Because it was a hell of a time for Vegeta. I think it's their ability to feel emotions for others. And when Vegeta was finally humbling himself down was when he was able to transform. But I would have liked to see Raditz be able to transform. Hopefully that'll be coming up in one of the next parts of this. I'll continue this series. Thank you for reacting. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.